I just wish right now, and I believe that it is each and every single South African's fundamental duty, not even.
I think racism is a very small thing in South Africa now, because it's been better than since apartheid.
I don't know if we can say it's any better or any worse, but I do think that it's been submerged in some sort of an underlying space that we haven't necessarily opened up and addressed. It's almost like a festering sore that we've perhaps put a plaster on when we reached our democracy and Madiba did the great and wonderful things that he did for our country.
I think there's a lot of people's influence promoting more racism, where if we can all just be tolerant with each other, accept each other. I mean, we're all human beings. Color doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all. And it's so disturbing that there's hidden agendas of the politicians, not just politicians, a whole lot of people.
South Africa is all right. Problem. Do
you think it's getting worse though? Because
I do, and I think it's also more politically driven now than it ever was before.
I don't think it's increased. I think people are more aware, and with social media, we're able to, express ourselves and let other people know what's happened to me, what's happened to a friend of mine. So it's always been there, and it always will be.
So you haven't experienced any racism?
No.
I just wish everybody can live in peace and everybody can just accept each other. We're just a different skin color, but we're all humans. We're all humans. And I don't see why we shouldn't live together. And yes, there's a lot of things that happened in the past, which doesn't mean it meets with our approval. But it happened, and there's nothing we can do.
Problem ranya jana. South Africa.
As a black South African, I feel affronted by the fact that the level of discourse has gotten to where it is right now, and I believe that it is each and every single South African's fundamental duty, not even obligation. It is our duty to approach the matter by engaging in open and honest discussion and debate with people of all races wherever we find ourselves. So if I find myself in church, then it's with my church members. If I find myself in a board meeting, then it's with my board meeting members. If I find myself in a family situation talking to my adult children, then it is in that setting.
Yes, my child will never be raised with color. My caretaker looks after him every day, and he's learning Zulu, he's learning English, and you'll learn whatever else he needs to learn to kind of bridge those gaps, to avoid these divides, that we all talk a common language. If anything, I wish that I was forced to speak every language. I think the fact that I can only speak English and a tiny bit of Afrikaans is a crock.
Nothing. People need to make it up to themselves to see that, I'm the same as this person, I'm no better. But then, until that happens, I don't think, in my personal opinion.
It's about self-acceptance. Because if you don't accept yourself, you can't accept another person. But it's such a complicated, I think, psychological issue. Because you tend to think that the problem is with another person, whereas the problem is with yourself.